Hi students, today we'll be taking about the first part of interferential therapy. Interferential therapy is the basic form of medium frequency current. You can, in the first lecture I've just said about it. Today also we'll be discussing about what all the components of interference. So today we'll be learning about the definitions and the principles and the physiological effects. So in the first part, we're not going to learn about the physiological effect, but we'll be learning the definitions, principles, and some interferences effect we'll be learning about. In 1950s, Hans Nimak is the first person who has developed or postulated medium frequency current, and he derived the interferential therapy. He called it as amplitude modulated frequency current early. It is called amplitude is been modulated. He didn't say anything on the interferential therapy. But way around in 1960s to 1970s, this amplitude modulated frequency current it derived into interference current, and later it is called as interferential therapy. So interferential therapy means it is a transcutaneous application of medium frequency electrical current where the amplitude is modulated. So in short, I'll say about interferential current is a alternating medium current with amplitude modulated. So whenever a medium frequency is there, you have to know about it is nothing but an amplitude modulated alternating. So why we need to know about an IFT? What is the importance in it? There is a law says about it. We can see in this slides. As per this law, Z is called the skin impedance and F is called the frequencies. Okay, so when Z is proportional, that means Z is directly proportional to your nothing but indirectly proportional to your frequency and capacitance of the skin. That means when the skin impedance is been reducing, the frequency will be increasing. When skin impedance is reducing, the frequency will be increasing. So that's a key of your medium frequency current. As you know about in a TENS is somewhat a low frequency current to a medium frequency current, whereas IFT is your medium frequency current, which is around ranges from 2000 hertz to almost to 10,000 hertz. Okay, so the more the higher frequency, the more skin impedances. That is why when you are treating up for a larger area, we will having a good effect of deeper penetration using interferential therapy. So as you see about, I give an example. When 550 hertz has been used, the skin impedance is 3200 ohms. But on the other hand, when it is 4000, it is 32398 ohms. So when a frequency is increasing, the impedance is reduced. That's why we prefer for deeper penetration, larger penetration where the skin is hypersensitive, then we prefer IFT rather than interferential. The principle is very simple. Two medium frequency current coincide and produce low frequency effect. That's all. Two medium frequency current coincide and produce a low frequency effect. That is the key principle of a interferential therapy. So what interference? How this interference is happening? This interference is can be in a two. It's very simple. When two people are fighting again, it can be a positive, it can be negative. That's why the same thing is applicable in also in the current, where two medium frequency currents are been adding in the same content, then it produces a positive impact, then it is called constructive interferential or constructive interference. What is that is when exact phase in phase of medium frequency, two medium frequencies being there, then a constructive interference will be there. In short, when two medium frequency of same phase is coming, then you will get a positive waves will be coming. That means which will be in the same phase. There is no change in it. And when two waves half the wavelength or something modulated is there, then there will be a destructive interference. That means no interference or no current will be coming because it will be fighting each other. A third one is when when a slightly modulated, when a single progressive slightly out of phase is collide within the two current, then a modulated, amplitude modulated frequency current will be there. This is what we will get in IFT. Okay, so in an interference there are various things will coming. One is called your constructive interference, second one is called the destructive interference, third one is called the continuous interference. In IFT we use continuous interference, where you will have a slightly modulated amplitude current will be coming into the principle is, we'll go to the around it. The principle is amplitude modulated is when two different frequencies are coming, the difference between the two are applicable. That means if one is 100, another one is 50, so 100 minus 50 is 50 hertz. But here it is a medium frequency current, so it will be 4000 hertz and 4200 hertz or 4150 hertz. The difference between the two is 150 hertz. That is into it. So that is what we are getting into it. 4150 minus 4000. So you will be getting 150 hertz. This is your amplitude modulated current. So that's the waveform. You will be getting slightly out of phase onto it. You will be getting 150 hertz of amplitude modulated frequency, which is nothing but interferential. So this interferential therapy will have some side effects. Since the current is going to be constant, which is not modulated or more, so what happens is the patients will become accommodated. So in order to avoid those accommodation principle of a nerve and onto the skin, the frequency has to be varied from minimal to the maximal. For this, there is one setup is called sweep. Sweep is a machine automatically which varies the effectiveness of stimulation of it, thereby preventing the accommodation of the nerves. Okay, for example, we are setting an amplitude of 20 hertz, another one is 50, then the current goes from 20 to 70 hertz. So this will be varying so that accommodation will not be happening. In the slides you can see about a current which is going from 90 to 130 hertz. So here it is 90 to 130 hertz, 90 to 130 hertz. All are having the sweep from the base. This is called the base frequency, and this is called your spectrum or the peak frequency. But what is the thing is, if you adjust the pulse width, you can vary the shape of the current, which is called the triangular, this is the rectangular and the trapezoidal. Okay, so the triangular is for a chronic condition, rectangular is for an acute condition, whereas a trapezoidal is for subacute conditions. So we will have a clear cut waveforms and a clear cut sweep for a particular conditions. Okay, and apart from that, currents are interfering. See, this is electrode 1, circuit 1, this is circuit 1, and this is circuit 2. Okay, when two currents are being interchanging or it has been adjusting together, so what happens is the impedance effect will be varying. That is, what is an impedance effect is the resistance that has been given to it. So see over here. Here the current flows from here. Here the current flows here. The current goes here, and another one current goes over here. So what happens is when the current is flows here, there is impedance is 0%. There is no impedance at all. But when at 30 degree of angulation of this current, it has got 50% impedance. That is called interference effect will be 50%. At 45 degree, it will be 100% effect. So this interference is key to get it about it, because there you will be getting a very good effect of pain relieving conditions. Whenever a patient is having a pain, if you place an electrode in such a way that the patient having a pain over here, then the interference effect will relieve the pain. That is the key principle over here. But what happens is, if the area is very large, when we need a different mode of interference type of current, so use three different type of interferences, which is called static interference, dynamic interference, and bipolar interference. What is static interference? In the previous lecture itself I said about it, or sorry, in the previous slide itself I put onto it, where two circuits are here. So what happens is, at exactly at 45 degree, the maximum, you can see the cloud lift here. This is your cloud lift appearance over here, where the maximum interference of these two current will be there and the effect will be there. That means the current will not be sweeping anywhere, it will not varying anything, but you will get an interference effect of current over at this region. This is constant. This is called, this to mean stationary. This current will not vary up and down. So at 45 degree perpendicular you will be getting this effect. So this is called static interference. On the other hand, in a dynamic, when you fix a two currents which is having a sweep and a base or a spectrum current, so what happens is the current at here it is a maximum 100%, at here it is 50%. So the current will be rotating in a circular fashion. What is that is, I'll show it in a picture over here. So this is the area you are keeping an electrode. So consider you are keeping an electrode. So you have placed an electrode, the current is flows from here and flows from here. Again the quadrant is maximum at this angle, that is at around 45 degree angle you will be getting it. These are all the poles. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, and this is 8. So in the machines, if we set a dynamic interference of effect of a current of a waveform or a vector mode of current, it's called as a vector sweep mode or a vector scanning mode. What happens is the current flows at 1, then goes to 2, then goes to 3, goes to 4, goes to 5, goes to 6, goes to 7, and goes to 8. So the current will be rotating like this, either in a clockwise or in the anti-clockwise direction. We can set up a current based upon the machines what you are using. This is called dynamic interference. What is this effect of a dynamic interference is, we will have a longer duration of area or longer duration of current, and the accommodation will not be happening, and larger area you can treat about it. On the other hand, if we are treating a smaller area, very small area, little bit area, so what type of interference we are using? There we can something called as bipolar interference. Only two electrodes will be used, electrode 1, electrode 2, only two electrodes which will be connecting to it, which is having a pre-modulated IFT will be there. What is pre-modulated is, in circuit 1 will be passing over here and circuit 2 will be passing over here. So both the currents are already passing, so which gives about a direct interference effect over here. And this is only for small area, for one small muscles, or maybe one muscle belly, muscle belly we have to go about it. So you can give about a good effect over on smaller area. So today we have learned about the introductions, what is and who has invented it, how the IFT is being stimulated or initiated and postulated, and what all its waveforms we have seen about it. So to some extent we have seen about on the interference, what is the constructive interference, what is a destructive interference, what is your amplitude modulated frequencies, we have learned about it. And also we have seen about three different types of interference, which is called static interference, dynamic interference, and also your bipolar interference. And we have learned about some parameters of that, that is called the sweep parameters we have learned on it. So where it is applicable and in which conditions we are using the sweep. So with this we are ending the first part of IFT. Thank you.